Alright guys, Rich here from the RC Network, and this is the Kyosho Optima re-release for 2016, full reveal in live color. Went ahead and got this thing all done. Pretty cool car from Kyosho. Now, of course, this debuted back in 1985 and was the premium four-wheel drive version of an RC car. And Kyosho has done a great job of the re-release, adding a couple of little bells and whistles to get us up and going with some brushless power and, of course, today's LiPo batteries. But all in all, this kit was just a absolute pleasure to build. This is probably one of the first Kyoshos on the planet, and it was really nice to be able to bring this one to you guys. So in this video, I'm going to show you kind of the electronic setup that I went with, how everything went together, and of course, some of the colors and things that I painted this Kyosho Optima. Now, what's really cool about the Kyosho is you're able to paint the body one color and then use all of the included decals to kind of give it that vintage look that's on the box. So Kyosho gives you all of these different color decals, and they're very thin. They conform to the car very well, so that was kind of nice. I opted to kind of paint my color on, so I did go with a darker metallic blue here that you're seeing, and then also a white, and then overlaid some of the yellow decals on top of it. So for the blue color, I ended up using this Pactra. It's called the True Blue Pearl. Turned out to be a great color for it. I backed it with some silver and white, so it ended up being a great color overall. So that was the blue color. The white, of course, you can't go wrong with Sprint White from Pactra. Always a great color. And then if you see in here into the interior, I'll remove the body a little bit later, but I used just basically their Indy Silver to get me that kind of contrast to all of the other colors that are on the vehicle. So that was the color choices. I think I stayed true to the vintage look of it with the white, the blue, and the yellow. I think the blue on the original car was a little bit more of like a medium blue, and that's kind of like a look at it right there. So went with the dark one just to kind of give it that modern look. As far as how everything else went together and the electronics, I mean, look at the package there, the tires. Although I will not be running these tires, I plan to do a running video at OCRC to really see how this thing can do. It's an indoor clay track. I'm going to slap on some two-wheel drive buggy rears and some four-wheel drive buggy fronts and see what this thing can do on, you know, as if it was 1985. So let me get the body off and let's take a look at the electronics. As far as the body, it's a little bit precarious because you have to cut out some pretty deep slots to get over the front and rear shock towers. You can see the front one there, and then of course the rear one right here. Now it does use kind of some odd body mounts. It has these kind of tabs built into the shock towers that are somewhat square. I ended up rounding my holes off because it's never good to cut a square hole into Lexan because that's exactly where it's going to split. So all in all, the body turned out nice, nice vintage look to it. I may go ahead and add on an RCN logo right there. Got those stickers printed up recently. So, but nonetheless, pretty cool design. Back here, I may black out some right here for the vents. We'll have to see how that goes. Now on to the chassis. Let's take a look at this thing. Of course, it does come with that scale figure right here, and that's what kind of posed me a little bit of an issue. It actually is meant to house only the receiver here, not the ESC, and I'll show you where the ESC is meant to go, but the driver figure, really cool. It gives you the helmet and all the decals to make it look as realistic as possible for 1985. So try to do my best on some of the decals. They were kind of hard to position. As far as the electronics that I chose, I wanted to stay true with Kyosho, and I put in some Orion electronics, and of course you're seeing the R 10.1 Pro right there, and also a Spectrum receiver for my DX3R Pro. On the backside right here, I'm using a VST2 8.5 turn. Yes, that's crazy, I know, but that's their brushless sensored motor. I wanted to give a nice motor system to this, and I think in the end everything will turn out great. But what's really odd about the way Kyosho designed this vehicle is the ESC is actually meant to go inside here, stuck up underneath the upper deck of the chassis. So I wasn't able to fit it there with the wires going to the motor, so I ended up putting it on the top part right there. You can kind of see my bullet connectors for my battery, but nonetheless, I ended up sticking it up here. I had to modify the rear of the cockpit right here to be able to get the motor wires and some of the bigness of that ESC. I also did have to remove the fan to be able to make that interior fit. So nonetheless, everything worked out pretty good here. Now, you may notice that I did go ahead, like I said in my other video, I narrowed this up to allow for a shorty pack. I just have a lot more shorty packs laying around than I do the stick pack. So this will fit in there really nice. You can kind of see that it'll just stick out just a little bit, allow me to put my battery plugs in and have some fun on the track. As far as steering servo, I went with a high-tech steering servo. Gonna be hard to see in there because it's kind of shadowed, but it's an 8330, super fast, has plenty of torque for this four-wheel drive buggy, and I think it'll do good. Use the stock servo horn, just a plastic one, and it should do pretty well. Very unique steering rack, as it kind of has a offset steering post in there, but everything seems to be working out pretty good. Need to fire this thing up and make sure everything's running correctly. Let's take a look back here on the motor. That VST2 motor from Team Orion, 8.5 turn. I know that's a little crazy for this vintage buggy, but want to give it a little bit of speed and see how it'll do. Try to do a pretty good wiring job there and keep everything as neat and tidy as possible. So, well guys, that is my Kyosho Optima re-release for 2016. I believe it's 2016, yeah it is. And I can't wait to get this thing on the track and see what it really can do. Of course, 1985 was a long time ago, and there's been a lot of advances in RC cars and everything in general, so hopefully this will be a good rendition of it, and I can't wait to show you the running video. Well guys, that's it for now. If you have any comments or questions, please post those on down below, and as always, thumbs up and subscribe. That's it for now guys, over and out.